Mm-mm. You guys thought I was going to blow mist in the air, didn't you? But not this time. But nonetheless, welcome to another edition of the Danny Show. I'm your host, Daniel Cody, giving you commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And as you can see by the intro, I don't own the rights, by the way. It is the day of the game. What you also heard was by Drowning Pool. I don't know why Triple H never came out to Drowning Pool. He did it once at WrestleMania 18, which I can proudly say I saw when I was a kid. I can proudly say, even though at the time I disagreed with him, Pedigree, and Stephanie McMahon, but I did not know she was a Jezebel at the time. But either way, I don't know why Triple H never came out to Drowning Pool more often. Darn it. But either way, still cool. Welcome to the show. Let's get started with the man who is now taking over instead of the executive vice president of talent relation, John Laurinaitis, people power. I tell you, John Laurinaitis would have made a great Batman. Not better than Christian Bale's, but he probably would have made a great Batman. But without further ado, let's get started with my top 10 favorite matches from the game. The Cerebral Assassin, the King of Kings, Triple H. He's that darn good. Let us get started at number 10. We have a match between John Cena versus Triple H on an episode of Monday Night Raw from October the 9th, 2009. Many thought that this could have been Cena's last match on Raw, and if you have to go out, you got to go out against one of Raw's other cornerstones, as Michael Cole put it, and that was Triple H. And boy, did they have a match. Triple H survived one AA and the STF, and it took not one, not two, but three pedigrees to keep Cena down. Thankfully, Cena's loss was not the last time we saw him because he did win the Iron Man match that following Sunday to not only win the WWE Championship but stay on Raw. But nonetheless, the point is the match that these two had together was amazing on Monday Night Raw. When WWE is not having wrestling shorts. Just saying. At number 9, we have Triple H versus Cactus Jack at Hell in a Cell 2000. This was a match that was supposed to be championship versus career. If Mick Cactus Jack won, he would win the WWE Championship, but if he loses, he must retire. And of course, this was the first time Triple H would compete in Hell in a Cell and become one of the masters of the early era of Hell in a Cell. The other master was The Undertaker. And I don't know who did the worst, Undertaker or Mankind. Because no, his match with The Undertaker was the worst for Mankind. It was a good match. Both matches were good. They were just worse for Mankind. Because in this particular match, Mankind went falling from halfway atop the cell onto the announce table, which is what you see some of the people doing now. And of course, the damage was done when he was back body dropped off the top of the cell and broke the ring. And he did that because he was attempting to pile drive Triple H on a flaming 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire. But that didn't work. Triple H back body dropped Cactus Jack onto the ring, breaking the ring, and it still took a pedigree to put Cactus Jack down. Cactus Jack was supposed to retire, but he came back next month for the Fatal 4-Way match at WrestleMania 2000, which Triple H still won. At number 8, we have Triple H versus the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, at WrestleMania 29. It was a redemption match for Triple H. It was no holds barred, and it was a match that had him accompanied by Shawn Michaels, with Paul Heyman accompanying Brock Lesnar. This was before Roman Reigns. Ironically, Roman had his first match that night with his Shield brothers. However, this match between Triple H versus Brock Lesnar was a rematch for SummerSlam 2012 when Triple H tapped out when he got his arm broke for the second time. This time he did the move thief move, taking Brock Lesnar's Kimura lock from him, but that wasn't enough to keep him down. But a sledgehammer and a pedigree on the steel steps was. This match was also going to be a showcase for WWE at the time, 30 years of WrestleMania, which can be played on WWE 2K14. It was a match that Triple H won to also retain his career that was on the line. Next on this list at number 7, we have Triple H versus Batista at WrestleMania 35, which also, like WrestleMania 29, took place at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, not too far from New York City. This match was also featuring Triple H's career on the line. Why is it that every time we go to MetLife Stadium, Triple H's career is on the line? But this match was another redemption match for Triple H because it featured himself against fellow Evolution member Batista. And it was to defend another Evolution member, Ric Flair, who still is trying to get one more match in for whatever reason. The man is 73 years old, still trying to have one more match. I don't know why. I think he should just let Andrade and someone else fight for him, but okay. Just don't do it. Just don't break nothing. And Jeff Jarrett is a busy man. But let's get back to the point at hand. Triple H versus Batista was rooted in the fact that Batista beat up Ric Flair on his 70th birthday, and then a couple of weeks later came spitting literally on a microphone. That microphone needs Clorox. If Batista ever came back to cut a promo in 2020, they would tell him to take it easy on the mic. They would have him wearing one of those clear masks. Ugh. But either way, Batista demanded a match with Triple H, spitting on the microphone for it. Give me what I want. Give it to me. Give it to me. And he got it. And one of the funny things happened during this no holds barred match with Shawn Michaels on commentary was Triple H yanking Batista's nose ring off. That's a nice nose ring. It was kind of funny, but I still ended up having to turn my head. Even though what happened with Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy Hell in a Cell 2018 was just downright disturbing. At number 6, we have Triple H in the Elimination Chamber 2009. This Elimination Chamber featured himself, The Undertaker, Big Show, Jeff Hardy, Vladimir Kozlov, and then WWE Champion Edge, who was the first to be eliminated. The last two men standing were Triple H and The Undertaker, and what made it so epic was those two. Triple H kicked out of a tombstone piledriver to deliver what I believe took 2 pedigrees to keep The Undertaker down and win the WWE Championship again. At the Elimination Chamber, that would be the second time he would win a WWE Championship, a mainstream championship inside the chamber. In 2003, he retained, but 5 and 2009 were the ones where he would actually win gold. At number 5, we have, speaking of The Undertaker, we have at number 5 a match where The Undertaker was the wild card, and that was with Triple H versus The Rock at Judgment Day and an Iron Man match, a 60-minute Iron Man match. This match, I thought it was real good. One of the highlights of the match, in my personal opinion, was when Triple H tried to use The Rock's move on the announce table, and The Rock chose to move thief Triple H. and miraculously the table didn't break. I thought it was a great match, and the McMahons kept their promise for a moment, staying backstage. But when things got interesting, they still interfered. And who was there to save the day? The Undertaker making his debut as the American Bad Biker, coming in and wiping everyone out. But because Shawn Michaels, the special guest referee, was there and saw the whole thing, the score was that Triple H would win by disqualification, which immediately meant that the championship would be handed to Triple H as of him outscoring The Rock, getting a score by disqualification. At number 4, we have Triple H versus Sting at WrestleMania 31. First of all, speaking of The Undertaker, I will never forgive WWE for not giving us Sting versus The Undertaker, but that's fine. Just kidding. But nonetheless, we did get Sting versus Triple H, and this all started at Survivor Series 2014. However, this build-up would lead to WrestleMania 31. They brought their best move. The entrances were great. The Terminator entrance was awesome also, and they brought their best moves. The Scorpion Deathlock and the Scorpion Death Drop from Sting. Triple H brought his best moves from the Pedigree Spinebuster, and also we got to see DX collab with the NWO original members, Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan, and Scott Hall. Rest in peace, man. That was an epic moment that will live in fame forever. However, despite breaking the sledgehammer, Sting took a broken sledgehammer to the face, and that was what kept Sting down for the 1, 2, 3. And after the match, they shook hands. Although I have to kind of think that their match is the reason why Sting was so reluctant to go to WWE, because he is 1-2, and that one victory was against Seth Rollins in a tag match where Seth tapped out. Nonetheless, Triple H showed respect, and it was still a good match. At number 3, we have Triple H versus his best friend but bitter rival, Shawn Michaels, at Hell in a Cell Bad Blood. This match was one of the rivalries that was very great during Raw's Ruthless Aggression era, and it can be featured on Best Friends Bitter Enemies on WWE 2K15 Showcase. But this match here was great. I really enjoyed the Hell in a Cell match between these two. Some might say, like Boss Antelope once said, that one of my subscribers said that this match might have been way too long because it was almost 50 minutes. But nonetheless, in my personal opinion, I think it was a great match. It was brutal. It had tables, ladders, chairs, oh my, and stairs, and of course, the cell and blood. I know I sound like a very violent person, and I kind of am. I like watching violent things, but in any event, this match was very great. This was back when they had headshots. And by the way, I noticed WWE didn't censor Matt Riddle getting hit in the head. Might be good news. Can we get more headshots uncensored, please? But this match was great. Triple H, it was the settlement match between these two, and Triple H won the match. Both men brought their best moves, but it was Triple H that won the match. And I also reviewed this event, by the way. So if you want, you can check it out. At number 2, we have also on the 30 years of WrestleMania video game 2K14, another match that was on this showcase list. Triple H inside Hell in a Cell versus The Undertaker with Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee. It was a rematch from the previous year because The Undertaker couldn't handle the fact that he didn't walk out on his own accord. So the next year, Triple H accepted the match, but inside Hell in a Cell with Shawn Michaels as the referee, the original masters of Hell in a Cell, and it was a dream match because both men like I said, were the original founders of the Hell in a Cell match. And this match did not disappoint. I still love one of my favorite moments is when Shawn Michaels went for Sweet Chin Music, Triple H went for the pedigree, and the Undertaker still kicked out. That kick out still gives me chills to this day. That makes me get out of my seat. Nonetheless, a tombstone, a second one, by the way, put Triple H down, and then after the match happened, both men raised each other up and they stood on the entry ramp in front of the fans as the fans showed respect for what was considered or thought to be an end to an era, as it was taglined. Also, The Undertaker cut his hair. At number one, before we get to that, let me give a couple of honorable mentions, and one of them is Randy Orton at WrestleMania 25, and more to come next year. But either way, starting with that, let's get down to number one, and that was Triple H versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at No Way Out 2001, Three Stages of Hell. The first match, Stone Cold won. It was a traditional match. The second match was a no holds barred match. Triple H won. And the second, third one was inside a steel cage. Triple H would get two victories in a row over Stone Cold Steve Austin. Another match that was featured in Stone Cold's WWE 2K16 showcase, which celebrated some of the best matches from Stone Cold Steve Austin. However, this match was brutal. And of course, another match that WWE may not show because they would have to censor headshots. Hopefully, they'll show it one day with no headshots included. And what made this match so extra special, it happened in Las Vegas. A couple of good things happened in Las Vegas that night, including Rock versus Angle. This was one of the matches. However, unfortunately for Triple H, it didn't end with him being victorious. Even though he won the match, Stone Cold got the last word with a Stone Cold Stunner. So, Stone Cold gets the last word. Nonetheless, what was your favorite Triple H match? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm your host, Daniel Cody, and that's all the time I have for you today. And I'll be back with another review on all things wrestling. See you soon. Right there.